Thank you, Dr. Basalirwa. Very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to join Dr. Basalirwa to welcome you to our session today, where we want to talk about data. And you'll agree with me that we are living in a data-driven world. Recently, I bought a very good detergent from Chinatown in Lugogo. So it was a very good detergent, and I went back after a month. So when I went back to Lugogo, I found that the shelf was empty. I asked the staff whether they were expecting this to come soon, and the staff was not very sure. But clearly, the fact that it wasn't there said something about that product. So I asked the staff, do you have do you think you have this in your other branches? She told me go and check the Chebando branch at Akamwesi. I went to Chebando and that product wasn't there. So I asked the staff and she said, oh, perhaps you can go and check our Freedom City branch. I'm that customer who will go for what I want if I want it and if it's possible for me to get it near. So I went to Freedom City and I found a few pieces of that product. And I asked this staff at Freedom City, do the bosses know about this product? And he said to me, probably they didn't know because they were mostly focused on moving their usual stock from China because this product actually comes from Dubai. So the lesson here, ladies and gentlemen, is that you may lose a sale. You will actually lose a sale from one customer and many others because the data is right there. Customers are looking for that detergent, but because management perhaps only looks at their, their shipping lists and total sales, they miss the detail. What they know is that they are selling items, but they do not know what is moving faster. What is it that customers are buying the most? And the question is, are they tracking customer demand? That is the question that came to my head. Are they tracking customer demand? Have they looked at these specific products to determine, to understand which of these products is moving very fast? And this is very common. Many of us are doing the same thing. We look at the bank account, we look at the sales at the end of the day, and we think we know everything about our business. But most of the time, there is hidden data in our shops, in our offices every day, what people are asking for, what they're complaining about, what is it, what they're loving. And if we don't capture this data, we're leaving money on the table. Today's speaker is to help us stop missing these opportunities, and he's going to show us how to go beyond the basic numbers so that we can understand our customers and what our businesses are trying to tell us. Mr. Wilobo Olanya, our speaker, is an experienced teacher with over 25 years in education and deeply committed to nurturing learning and personal growth. He's a very passionate person at what he's doing. He's the founder and director of Willox Equip, a corporate training and consulting firm that has been running for the last 15 years, serving some of the region's leading institutions with impactful training and capacity building programs. He's also a co-proprietor of multiple junior schools where he continues to shape young minds and champion quality education. With his background in both the classroom and industry, he brings together educational expertise, management, and entrepreneurship to make a meaningful impact. Mr. Wilobo, we are always happy to host you and would like you to share with us how we can make the most of data in our businesses. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, Tim. Kindly confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we hear you well.
Oh, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin by thanking the director of EICC, that is Entrepreneurship Incubation and Innovation Center of MOBS, for this continuous series of Become a Better Entrepreneur, and for, of course, for allowing me today be the presenter of the day on the topic that has been clearly indicated: data-driven or guess-driven. Why shouldn't you ignore data in your business? Allow me share my screen as I begin my presentation. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as I begin my presentation, Wilobo, like has been communicated, is a corporate trainer, education consultant, and I've done this for the years that have been mentioned. A number of schools have gotten my services. I've trained top leaders in schools, board members of different schools. I've done supervision, external support supervision in schools. I've done career talks. Beyond schools, I've also done corporate trainings in a number of organizations. I've worked with the center at MOBS, performing different tasks and developing modules and conducting trainings as well. I've worked with the Aga Khan Foundation in post-COVID training recovery programs that have been there. I've worked with Celis International. I've also done some trainings with the Airtel Uganda. And briefly, that is a background of Willox PIP. But today, I'm here to talk about data-driven or guest-driven. Why shouldn't you ignore data in your business? Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody on the call, I want to think that data is information. Any information that is important in enabling you make decisions is very vital. And it is needless for us to ignore information in as far as our businesses are concerned. I want to begin by giving a few examples. We have a number of businesses today that are operating, and a number of business owners think that financial data is the only data that they need to keep, or financial information is the only information they need to keep. True, financial records are very important, but beyond financial information, there is a lot more information that gives us insights about how our businesses are operating and can enable us make future decisions on how we should run our businesses. Dr. Diana gave an example of the detergent she wanted to buy from Chinatown, and she moved left, right, and center. But I want to give an example. Just on Friday last week, I moved into a shopping area in Lugazi. I wanted to buy cooking oil. Actually, it was a Sunday, not a Friday, Sunday. I wanted to buy cooking oil, and partially I wanted to buy sunseed. So when I went into the store, these wholesale stores, and the young man of about 18, 20, 25 average selling. So I asked him, how much is a 5-liter jerrycan of sunseed cooking oil? But I bought that cooking oil about 3 weeks ago. So I went back to the same store and I saw it there. So I asked the boy, how much? He told me it is 55,000. But 3 weeks ago, I bought the same pack at 45,000. So I was like, isn't the price so high? I thought it is about 45,000. He told me, no, it is 55. I hesitated. But there was another person selling with that boy of the same age. So I asked him, is it true that you can't reduce the price of this cooking oil? He said, no, we can. Okay, bring 48. Now, after getting 55, then at 48, and 3 weeks ago I bought it at 45, I hesitated and I didn't buy. But the person that sold me the cooking oil then was the owner of the store. and the owner doesn't work on Sunday. So I went to the next store and bought it at 45,000. Possibly these are the sons who work on Sunday, or him he works on Monday to Saturday, Monday to Friday, and the children work over the weekend. So I was like, how come this boy is charging 55, 48 versus 45 that the father sells, and the neighboring stores are also selling at 45,000? What is not adding up? So I was like, but does the father or the owner of the store know the records in terms of sales on particular days, when it's available and when it's not available? Has he worked on Sunday to get to know what is the trend of business on Sunday? So that when he leaves somebody there, he has a rough picture of what actually happens. Or he goes by what they tell him. So I thought that there was something that amiss on that area. Then the other thing, we have people who operate salons, male salons and those that deal with ladies' hair and the like. And some of the items they utilize are consumables, like the oils, the wigs, electricity units, and the like. But the owners of these salons sometimes don't sit there to monitor how businesses run. They only rely on the records they give them in terms of sales, in terms of services given, and they take it as gospel truth. But do they mind to collect data concerning the bills they are paying versus the money they are getting, or versus how the business is operating? Do they record how many units they've bought, and after how long do they buy other units, vis-a-vis how much money we are getting? Sometimes the people we employ in our businesses tell us that businesses are not good. People are not walking in, but machines are running. And machines are using electricity, and I'm paying for the bill, I'm buying the units. Do I correlate the units I've bought versus what they are telling me? If you go to the ladies' salons, they do retouch, they do treatment. There are different oils they use. Have you taken time to record how often you buy a particular oil? Have you walked in and taken a photo of this of the level of the oil and got to know what happens next? Now, all this is information, which information is vital for us to make our informed decisions. People have saunas, people have steam baths, and they're paying bills, firewood to have this running. Electricity bills are coming in. That is all data. Now, look at this information. Somebody walks into a shop in the morning, and there are very many people waiting to be served, and there are either one or two people serving all the many people. And it is happening this week, it happens next week, it happens the other week, and the owner doesn't look at that as information that they should analyze and help them improve on their businesses. I've been invited to conduct trainings in different schools, and the directors tell you, come up with something to train my teachers. You know, in our policy, we agreed as a board that every term, every beginning of term, every quarter, we must take our teachers, our administrators through training. So come up with something to train our team. And you ask yourself, now, where are you basing this? Why should I come up with something? Where are your training needs analysis? Where have you given me your reports so that I see where the challenge is so that I improve you? I mean, the data is not there. You go to these supermarkets, they don't know when peak time is and when we are off peak. There is time when there's high demand on shoppers. People go in and they're shopping, and you find a very long line and very few ladies that are working at the clearance. So you ask yourself, all this is information. Why aren't we collecting this information? We have people that work with us. We employ them in our settings. How often are they on phone? How often are they absenting themselves or calling for sick leave or, not appearing at work? Is it a similar trend? Is it always on Thursday that they don't come to work? Is it always on a Monday that they don't come to work? All that is information. So beyond financial records, we need to observe and see other hidden information that are vital, but that will feed into the finances. Because if this information is not well collected and interpreted, we end up failing to get the finances that we want at the end of it all, and for the reason why we establish our businesses. I want to give another example, which is international. We had issues with, let me rush through. I want to show you this now. We had issues with Nokia. Nokia, below 2013, had a very big market share. And on your screen, it was the CEO of Nokia then. And in 2013, when Nokia was being taken over by Microsoft, the CEO cried during that session. He cried, saying that nothing was done. We didn't do any mistake, but we lost our company. Just listen to that. That was during the last speech when Nokia was being taken over by Microsoft. Handover speech. That's a goodbye, thank you. Now, that tells us let me push forward, telling us that Nokia had a market share, but it lost out on vital data. It concentrated on only producing a strong battery, and the trends were changing.
Hello, Mr. Wilobo.
Hello.
Hello. The video has no sound.
Oh, sorry for that. Let me make adjustments here. Let me reshare. Okay. Okay, here we are. Do we have the sound now?
Hello? No, not sorry. Yet. We don't have it.
Let's try this. Do we have sound for that?
No, it's not coming out still.
Do we have? Did you get the sound on that?
No, we don't get the sound. We don't.
Okay, let me explain. Maybe there's an issue. Now, on that same shared screen. Okay. Let me just explain then, but you can get my sound. Hello?
Hello, yes, we can hear you. Loud and clear, we hear you.
Okay, thank you. So I was talking about the Nokia CEO, and that statement reads, we didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost. Now, I don't believe that Nokia didn't do anything wrong. Nokia did most of the things wrong in as far as collecting vital data for their existence was concerned. Number one, they didn't mind about the trends. They didn't mind about customers' needs at that time. It was, we were shifting from those other phones to smartphones. And Nokia continued making a hardcover, continued making a strong battery, but people wanted convenience. All that is information. After some time, new companies, Techno, came in and produced much better phones than Nokia did, and they lost the market share. Of course, Nokia has come up and they're making some phones today, but I want to say that it is not as it was before. So, going forward, any business requires data, which is beyond financial information. Where do you make decisions? What is your basis on deciding what next to do, to make changes? We need information. And the information, when used properly, can help us out. Now, what is the importance of information? Number one, information helps us to monitor performance of our businesses. It enables us to get to know, okay, are our businesses efficient or otherwise. It enables us to create reports. After a given period of time, we use data to come up with reports on how the business is performing. It makes it possible to set estimates and targets for the future. You want to make future plans for your business. Where do you base? What information do you use? You need data. It enables you to identify trends, how things are moving in the market today. Is business performing well or things are not good? This helps you. Then capacity to make more informed decisions, because you can't do all that if you don't have data. Now, do you work hard and wonder why growth is elusive? Some people work so hard in their businesses, but they are not improving. I want to think that you are not aware of the indicators of failures and consequences of their actions. Now, some of the indicators of failures are the data. How many complaints are coming in and how many complaints of the same kind? Do you know that most business operators listen to complaints in the passing? They don't record it anywhere so that they can monitor what similar complaints are coming in. Or else, we may have that information, but we don't interpret it. So when we get data and we don't interpret the data, we end up getting challenged. So data plus what we do with such information can either make us progress in our businesses and whatever we're doing, or make us decline and therefore fail. That's why I'm saying, are decisions data driven, or they are guess driven, or they are opinion driven? Data should drive decision making. Superior situation awareness starts with superior information, superior data collection. So and every business on that point has what we call key performance indicators. And they differ from one business to the other. If you're running a wholesale business, you have different key performance indicators. And what are those? Those are aspects that are very important in as far as the existence and performance of that business is concerned. So if you cannot identify those aspects which are important for the existence of your business, then you cannot collect data that is going to give you better information on how to go forward. So I have not outlined them because people have different kinds of businesses, but you should sit down and analyze, in this transport business, what are my key performance indicators? It's like a dashboard of a vehicle. A vehicle dashboard has indicators on the dashboard. They are lights, but they are those key lights. If they are red, they are giving you information. You are supposed to interpret that information. So the same thing applies to our businesses. If you are running a school, you must have key performance indicators of a school. You look at the numbers, you look at the performance, you look at the methodology of delivery. I mean, a number of other things. If you're running a boutique, you analyze data of people walking in. Because if you have a business and people don't come in, let alone people coming in to buy, but if people are not coming into the business, not coming to ask, to look at the clothes you are selling, that is also information that either my location is poor, my display is poor, my advertising methodology is not working, or something is wrong with my display, with my business. Why is it that nobody is coming in? You get it? But it's also important for you to record those who come in, even if they don't buy, because tomorrow they are the ones who will end up buying. So all that is vital information, which I want to call data, that can help us grow and make our businesses better. So going forward, I want to say that when we get data, When we observe, we collect information and analyze it. After collecting information and analyzing it, we go ahead and make decisions. After decisions have been made, we take action. But the action we take should originate from decisions. Decisions should come from data. I want to thank you so much for listening to me, and that is the little I wanted to share with us. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Wilobo Olanya, for a great presentation that you've made for us. You've really shared and indicated to us the importance of data. And you've asked us a very, very important question. Is it data-driven or guess-driven decisions? Why should you ignore data? Why shouldn't you ignore data in the business? Thank you. You've mentioned to us different types of data. You have indicated to us that it's not only financial data that is important, but we need to go beyond the financial data and try to capture other types of data. And among the importances of why we need data, you've highlighted to us different issues. It is important because it helps to know the trends of business. It helps you to make informed decisions. It helps you to interpret the KPIs, the key important things or aspects that govern your business, that are common to your business. So it is important to record data always. You've given us various examples, including given the Nokia example. And you've indicated to us that it's very, very important that when you observe data, you collect data, you need to analyze that data, and you use it to make decisions. Which decisions guide you on your actions in the business? And this will help you always to be able to perform better and improve performance. I will not say much beyond this, but I would like to appreciate you and thank you. Thank you for creating time in your business schedule to come and talk to the entrepreneurs and talk to us. I would like to invite some questions here because I know the members logged on could be having some comments or questions to raise. Let me invite Mr. Joseph Cesar Ojok to guide us in the Q&A.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. Good morning, everyone on call. Allow me to start by appreciating our presenter of the day for the very wonderful and insightful presentation about how data is very much important to our different businesses. And personally, I've been inspired and I've learned a lot from you, Mr. Wilobo. Thank you so much for sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about the time that we get to interact with our presenter of the day. And we have three ways we can be doing this. First, we have the Q&A session where you can type in your question right there and I'll be able to read it out to the presenter and he will be able to respond to that. Then also we have the chat where you can also post in your question right there, and Sila would do same by letting him aware about the existence of the question. And also the other third way is you can raise up your electronic hand and you'll be able to speak to our presenter of the day. So feel free to ask any areas that maybe were not clear or anything you feel you need more clarity on in regards to what we have been able to actually discuss today right away from our presenter. So feel very free to start straight away and post in your question in either the Q&A session or use the chat, or you can raise up your electronic hand and you will be given the opportunity to actually ask your question through the technical team that will aid that. Yes, feel very free to ask. Let me check if there is any right now. Okay. I see this is from Sheila. Madam Sheila says, thank you so much, Mr. Olanya, for your presentation on data information. It's crucial as it helps you observe the trend in the market. Mine is a compliment on Joyce's Sunsip versus Savannah. In one of the regular supermarkets in town, I noticed that the Sunsip for 1 liter goes for 10K, yet Savannah for 2 liters goes for 16,200 and more tasty. So these days I go for Savannah. I think it's just a bit of a compliment, but you can also maybe say something about that. And then Sarah Akera says, thank you. Are there specific tools for collecting business data? That is from Sarah Akera. Maybe Willox, we can actually start with those two as the others actually come on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Sheila, talking about Sunsip versus Savannah and the prices versus the test. Of course, we have what we call tests and preferences, because what may be tasty to you, Sheila, may differ from what is tasty to another person, but still, that helps you to choose what to buy, and that is information on your part, on your purchasing, on your purchasing. So if you are dealing in soft drinks and you are stocking them for your customers, you may look at the test, because you cannot give what you don't have or what you don't know that's good. So if you've tested and you feel that Sunsip is good, you can able talk about it because you have information about it and stock it more in your store for selling compared to what is expensive but may not be tasty according to you. But remember, customers have different tastes and preferences. That is what I would say on that. And then Sarah, you're saying, thank you. Are there specific tools for collecting business data? We can customize our tools depending on our businesses. One tool may not apply to all the different kinds of businesses, but depending on your business, you can, one, identify what are the key performance indicators of my kind of business, and then you formulate a template that can enable you collect that information. Now, it may not necessarily mean that collecting data needs to be feeding it in and the like. Sometimes you also need to take photos. That is all record. That is all information. So it's not a one match all. I want to give an example of using CCTV camera footages as a tool to collect data. We've seen CCTVs now put up everywhere. People have cameras in their business premises. But the problem is they do not go ahead to review, excuse me, they don't go ahead to review the footages to see what happened. They only review when there is a problem. And yet you can review even when there is no problem, so that look at trends of how things are running and help you make other decisions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Panajok.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Wilobo, for responding to those two concerns. As of now, okay, this is from Philip, still using the chat room, saying that are there instances where I can go against collected data and try out new stuff in my business? That is from Philip. I think you can also respond to that as others come through. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to ask your questions at this point, but Willox, you can respond to that for now. Willox, are you there? I've been able to read out this question from Philip.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes.
I'm not unmuted. Thank you so much, Philip, for that. Can I try out something new by ignoring going against the already collected data. Now, you may try out something new, but what is the basis of you wanting to try out something new? Is it that it still goes back to data. Is it that your current business is not performing well and you want to try something different so that you can increase its performance? Or is it that the business is doing good and you want to expand? Or is it that you have come up with the new innovation, and but still there is some element of data. It cannot be completely empty of data. It should be having some element of data. So I would want to advise that much as one would want to ignore already collected data, I wouldn't advise that, especially if it is in line with your current ongoing business, because your past experiences should enable you make decisions about what you want to do in the future. Or better still, when you want to try something new, you look at all the risks involved. So that is what I would take for that. But there is some form of data that you must use. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Willock, for responding to that. Now, also still in the chat, there is a question from Daniel B. that says, thank you, Mr. Olanya. Correct me if I'm wrong. I am of the view that data digested is information and information interpreted is intelligence. My question is, how do you decide what data is relevant and what KPIs you should focus before data-driven can also be biased to the data you are focused on collecting? I think you can also read that better in your Q&A session. Then you can maybe respond to that as maybe others still come on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. You're saying, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, with you, that information and interpretation is intelligence. My question is, how do you decide what data is relevant and what KPIs? Now, okay, let me first mention that. What data that is relevant should be related to the key performance indicators. Not all data is really relevant. Now, I did say that a key performance indicator is an aspect of your business that is vital for its survival. And in a school setting, the example I gave was the number of learners, because my background is in education. So the KPI in a school, key performance indicators, would be the number, the enrollment, would be the performance of the learners, would be the quality of teachers and their delivery methodologies. So those are the key performance indicators in a school setting, for example, if I may use. And those constitute avenues from which data is going to be collected. So depending on the kind of business you are running, there are those aspects which are very important in as far as your business is concerned. Those become the KPIs, or the key performance indicators. Going forward, after getting the KPIs, what KPIs should you focus? Because data-driven can also be biased. Yes, of course, you look at a number of information, a number of data over time, and you analyze it, because that is why sometimes when you only consider one information or two or three, you may not be accurate enough to go ahead and make decisions. That's why you need to collect ample data, enough information, and use it to engage with your team members to come up with decisions. Thank you. I hope I have helped.
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Willox, for ably responding to those questions. As of now, I do not see any. Let me check the Q&A section if it's there. I do not see any question. So I want to thank ably from listeners. Probably this brings us to the end of Q&A session. And let me appreciate Mr. Wilobo for ably responding to all the questions that were raised in the chat. But from what I see, most of us were really, enlightened and appreciate really your presentation. At this opportune time, let me take you back to our dear host, Dr. Edith. Please, back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Caesar Joseph Ojok, for managing the Q&A, and also allow me to appreciate Mr. Wilobo Olanya for ably responding to the questions raised and the different comments that are raised. I think you'll agree with me that today's session has emphasized to us the importance of data and also how we should be able to analyze and process this data to come up with information that will help us to take rightful decisions. If he has notified us, informed decisions are the best decisions, which are based on data. They will guide us to take the rightful and best decisions. Thank you very much, Mr. Olanya. For many times, we tend to forget on issues of collecting data. You've also notified us the importance of recording data and even taking pictures, or the cameras that are recording. Are we able to interpret the information from the cameras? Because this is necessary. There are various tools you've notified us which help us to collect data. And it is important for us to note also that different businesses have different KPIs. So the KPIs that you identify for your business will guide you on what type of information you should collect. And after identifying what type of information you should collect, then you should be able to think of the tool that will help you to guide you accordingly. The KPIs are aspects which are important for your business to indicate the performance in your business. And the KPIs definitely will vary from one business to another. So I think you've guided us well that we need to identify the KPIs, and from identifying the KPIs, then we can be able to identify which tools to use. I'd like to appreciate you very much. Thank you. And I know that people who are logged on here have benefited and will be able to make use of data, start collecting data if they've not been collecting data, make use of it, and make it relevant for taking decisions in the organizations or in the different businesses that they are undertaking. I would like to thank you, Mr. Olanya, for accepting to come and talk to us. I know you are a very busy person, but you were able to come and spare time for this morning and discuss with us these key important aspects. Thank you very much. I know moving forward, we'll be able to interact many other times with you. We appreciate you very much. Allow me to appreciate all the participants this morning who were able to log on to participate with us in this training this morning. I would like to appreciate the team at the Entrepreneurship Center, at the MOPS Entrepreneurship Innovation and Incubation Center, Dr. Diana Antamu, with your Deputy Director and the other members that you work with. Thank you for continuously enabling this to be run so that we have a forum that will help the entrepreneurs to become better. Allow me to when they give us a go forward, then we go ahead then we can be able to run the sessions. Thank you very much, everybody, this morning. I'm happy that we've been able to discuss this to the end, and I would like to end this session here. Thank you very much, everyone. I would like to wish you a blessed Thursday and enjoy your day and be able to make use of data and information and use this to improve your businesses. Where you've not been capturing relevant data, kindly identify what your KPIs are and let the KPIs guide you on which type of data you should collect so that we use this information meaningfully. I would like to wish you all the best and thank you very much. Remember to log on again next week on Thursday. Bye-bye for now.
Gotta get up. You gotta get up and make a move. 'Cause the world will never see you until you do. No, they don't really care what you're going through. So you gotta show 'em, baby. You gotta show 'em the real you. You gotta give 'em what you got. No, don't let them see what you're not. 'Cause you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can be perfect, baby. 'Cause nobody's perfect, darling. No, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. What do you do when you can't let go? What do you say when you just don't know how you feel? And you know nobody knows how you feel. 'Cause everybody's got their own damn problem. So everybody's trying to find their way. And day by day it's a struggle. In this world, you know you are struggle. Just know that you're not alone. You don't always have to be strong all by yourself. I said it's okay to let go. People will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. People will find you, but they don't define you. And you will find people who help redesign you. You are a work of art that you didn't think you could as well. Now, baby, you are strong. You are wise. You are worth beyond 1,000 reasons why. And you can be perfect, baby. 'Cause nobody's perfect, darling. But no, 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 there's nobody in the world like you. You know that you can be perfect, especially I love you just the way that you are. I love you just the way that you are. Yeah. Oh,